Hot topics, weird news, shock talk radio. CaveCrewRadio.com.
Welcome to the Cave Crew Radio pre-show. We are about to go live on CaveCrewRadio.com, YouTube and Facebook. Please share the show and remember to like, subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss a thing. And please leave us your comments too. Get ready. It's going to be another big show with all the latest hot topics, pop culture and weird news. Ladies and gentlemen, and I use that term loosely, here are your hosts, DK and the Big B.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is DK. Big B is with me here as always. It is the Cave Crew Radio pre-show.
Hi there.
Easter edition. Good Friday in some places. Will you eat meat today?
Yeah, I don't care about that.
Yeah, you don't go by you got to eat fish.
No. Actually, I had pepperoni pizza for lunch. So yeah, no, I'm fine. I remember as a kid that was like a big thing because I went to Catholic school, so it was a big thing. Lent was a big deal. You had to give up something for Lent, and you couldn't eat meat on Fridays, and you're very strict on that. And I never understood that. It just didn't. Even as a kid, it just never jived with me. Why can't I have a hot dog on a Friday?
Right.
I never got it. So once I was of age to do things myself, when coming into the teenage years, I was like, I'm eating meat. I don't care.
Why can't I have fish on Thursday? Right?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure of it either. Maybe some giving up, but I like fish every now and again.
We actually had a nice. My younger son likes to call it a seafood fiesta. We went to Red Lobster. I told you last weekend I was doing my taxes after our show last week. The next morning I started in on my taxes. I had to do my taxes and I had to do my father's taxes. My taxes are complicated because I have my own business. I have an LLC, so I have to do write-offs and all of this stuff to try to even things out. And then on my father's side, he had a whole bunch of retirement stuff that I had to do. So it was a really long weekend doing taxes. And went out with my wife out to the island to do some things. And there was a Red Lobster there. I was like, fuck it. We're going to Red Lobster. And we had a nice seafood fiesta last weekend after taxes.
I love Red Lobster. I like when they have the endless shrimp. The endless shrimp fiesta.
I had what did I have? I had the ultimate feast. That came with crab and lobster tail and two types of shrimp. It was wonderful.
Yeah, no, it's a good treat. We enjoy it. My kid won't eat that, though. He'll order a cheeseburger at Red Lobster.
Yeah, well, my older son, when he was younger, and we go to Red Lobster like every once in a while, he would say Red Lobster was his favorite restaurant to go to because the mac and cheese was the best.
The mac and cheese. I forgot about that.
The mac and cheese. It's like Kraft mac and cheese. It's nothing special.
Jake used to get that. I love their biscuits.
Oh, yeah.
New England clam chowder is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could go for some Red Lobster. But I'm excited. So, and then because there is no Easter feast this year, because I'll be en route to the city of Toronto on Sunday. I just bought some turkey breasts for everyone. I might put them on the barbecue.
There you go. It's funny you say that because we're doing 2 Easters this weekend. So tomorrow, my wife's family's coming over, and we have a ham. We're going to make a ham, and then Sunday for actual Easter and the little ones searching for the Easter eggs and all of this stuff. I'm going to smoke a turkey.
Nice.
So,
you've done that before, so.
Oh yeah, we had well for Thanksgiving, and then we had gotten an additional turkey, and we just I have my freezer down here, so we just kept it frozen, and we're thawing it out now, and we're going to have smoked turkey for Easter Sunday dinner.
Yeah, I might smoke the breasts. I looked, and they're all good size, so a good portion for each of us. Mm-hmm. But I just don't want the leftovers going away,
Now, have you used your smoker yet? You just got this for Christmas.
The big one's not set up. I need to lay some boards on the deck. All this is April is a busy month of we did the dinner theater last week, the hockey game Sunday. Then 2 weeks we're back up in Toronto for a weekend again, and then in May it's let's get busy, get the yard in shape, and here we go. For about 6 months straight.
Got it. Okay, so the brand new smoker won't see anything until May,
or end of April. And the new hot tub is en route, the permanent one.
I still want to see how big your backyard is. Jesus Christ!
I'll send you a picture when it's done. I should send you a before and after, because we had wind damage in the gazebo. So I got a new roof for that. The new hot tub will be coming. A little bit of vegetables, nothing major. It's not an allotment. Swing at the back, a shed, and a deck with the barbecue, the smoker, and there's enough room, and it works.
I have to see this. I definitely want to see pictures. And speaking of your little garden, I had sent you some herbs. I know you received them.
Yes, they're growing.
What did I say? I don't even remember what I sent you.
Basil. Did you send me basil or dill? I can't remember now.
No, it was probably basil.
Yeah. And I've got the little hydroponic thing, so I'm pre-growing everything. And I just do tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, herbs, some green onions, stuff like that.
I think we're going to do tomatoes again this year. We actually, because from the plants last year, we actually still have some mini baby carrots growing. So I guess we're going to grow carrots again this year. And I want to grow, or see if I can grow cilantro.
Well, here's the deal. You should do a herb garden. It doesn't take a lot of room. And as you're cooking and making your rubs and spices and whatever you're doing, you just cut them. I dry them and then ground them and then make my own mix. But you can do them fresh. You can.
Right. And that's why I was considering cilantro, because when I make a grilled corn salsa and I make a grilled shrimp ceviche, I use cilantro for both. And, last year was the first time I did it, and it seemed to go over well. But I was buying the cilantro. I'd go to the supermarket, buy the cilantro, and cut it up. I was thinking this year maybe we can grow our own and have some nice fresh. I just pull it off the plant and cut it up and add it in. So we'll see.
See, it's all part of the outdoor kitchen. Anyway, here we go. We're going to kill this clock. We got Scotty and Jer in the waiting room. He'll be joining us as well, folks. We are about to go live on the radio, our Easter special. We're going to have fun. We're going to have a good time. And let me just cue everything up, and we should be rocking and rolling.
Air traffic control, bring in New York. Roger that. Bring in Canada. 10-4. Gentlemen, we have liftoff.
The show is about to start. Roger, we have liftoff. In 3, 2, 1. Cave Crew Radio 2022. The tradition lives on. This is radio. Cave Crew Radio.
There was a time when the world turned their back on men. Men with a dream and savage yearning within them Legions compelled by passion that knows no boundary. A consuming flame that defies plausible explanation. Battling the forces of domestication, they find the courage to band together to experience the awesome power of the
I say this with all due respect.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Today's broadcast of the masculine feminist has been commandeered by the secret society No Ma'am.
Gonna go to a place like a shot and a beer, steak, man. Saying we can stop, get pancakes, and then we'll get laid, all right?
Why do you drink ice cold beer on a hot day?
Mr. Craven, what else are you gonna do with it?
To alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
The Yankees are champions of baseball! It's a power play goal!
This is Cave Crew Radio.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Cave Crew Radio is the name of the show. My name is DK, and I am live from my cave in Windsor, Ontario, Canada, for this Good Friday Easter weekend special. Great to have everyone on board with us. We are live on cavecrewradio.com. We are live on YouTube and Facebook and TalkShoe and a few other places I can't remember at the moment, but we're live everywhere. We're also on demand wherever podcasts can be found, and we got a great show ahead for you tonight. First of all, let's go to our first co-host with us as always. He is the self-proclaimed President of the United States. He is the Duke of Urinstench Alley, as knighted by the Queen herself. He is also a university graduate and always the epicenter of something. Ladies and gentlemen, Sir Big B.
Yes, live from Queens, New York, I am Sir Big B, your President-elect of the United States of America, and as always, the epicenter of something. This week, I am the epicenter of all things enhanced driver's licenses.
Oh my God, what the hell is that?
So, here in the U.S., there was a law passed many, many, many years ago. I don't remember which president passed it, but everybody after that president kind of ignored it and let it roll and never enacted it. It suddenly became active last October, where you have to have what's called a real ID or an enhanced ID to board flights. Domestic flights. A real ID, you can board a domestic flight and fly anywhere in the United States. An enhanced ID, you can go anywhere in the United States, plus Canada, plus Mexico, and certain other Caribbean islands.
Almost like a passport.
Right, but you don't need a passport to go. Like, I could just show now my driver's license to go. So I was at the DMV at 8:00 this morning. I had to make an appointment. I was at the DMV at 8:00 this morning. Now I have obviously an active driver's license, a regular driver's license, and it takes all these various forms of ID to get a driver's license. But now to get an enhanced driver's license, I had to not only bring my current license, I had to bring my original Social Security card, I had to bring my original birth certificate, and a utility bill with my name and address on it.
Something with your address, yeah.
So I had to bring all of that. I did all of this. I paid everything, and I got my interim paper license.
Excellent.
I haven't had one of these since I was 16 years old.
You can come to Canada.
I can now come because it's got this ENH right there that says that means it's enhanced.
Oh, this is very big.
I am now free to travel within the United States, thankfully to the government, because I have an enhanced license.
That's strange. We have I don't know what it's called because I don't use it. It's some kind of a quick pass that we can use to get over to the States, but we still need our passport, I believe. Maybe not. Maybe we also have an enhanced license. I never bothered. I have a passport. I have a license.
Well, I don't have a passport, and we are traveling. We're going to Arizona in June, so I needed to upgrade my license.
You don't need a passport to go state to state, do you?
Well, if you don't get an enhanced license or a real ID, state issued ID, you can use your passport. But I don't have a passport.
Well,
so I had to go get an enhanced license.
That's what's strange. See, in Canada, I can go anywhere. British Columbia, Riverton, Halifax, wherever, Quebec, just drive, fly, take a train without anything because I'm in my own country. As soon as I cross Detroit, Michigan, whatever, I need certifiable ID.
Well, I can drive anywhere in the United States. I can go, if I wanted to drive to Arizona, I could, and I wouldn't have to do all this. But in order to board a domestic flight, I need an enhanced ID.
I wonder if this is post 9/11.
Oh, it's no, I don't believe it's post 9/11. I believe it's before 9/11. Oh. And I want to say that this is something, I want to say Bill Clinton, but I may be wrong. This is something that Bill Clinton enacted, and you're talking about way back in the 90s. And then every president that followed kind of, like I said, just ignored it and didn't bother making it a law and pushing it, so we never had to bother. But that ended last October.
With Biden.
Well, of course with Biden.
It's funny he remembered something.
Biden's a bag of shit. Well, no, he probably this is probably enacted because he forgot to ignore it. Like every other president.
There you go. There, he forgot to ignore it.
Yeah. So.
Right. Anyway, bring our other friend in here.
So, coming to you from the Paris of Appalachia, the only two-time loser of the Believe It or What challenge, it is the horizontal wonder himself, Scotty and Chair.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Scotty, I meant to ask a question, but I didn't want to interrupt the intro. Were you drinking straight booze out of a bottle?
No, it's tea.
Oh, it looked like you had looked like you had a bottle of rum or something.
Oh, I wish. I do have rum, but I don't have anything to drink it with, so we'll just leave it alone for tonight.
You have tea.
Rum.
I have tea.
You could put rum in your tea.
Yeah.
I could. It's got a coconut taste to it, so I don't know if it would be really good enough or taste good enough.
Coconut tea.
You don't know unless you try.
I know I should. Maybe during a break I'll try the tea and rum together.
There we have it. After the break, ladies and gentlemen, we will try on air coconut rum tea.
There you go.
I can't wait.
Be famous, especially if you put it on TikTok.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of bartender type people on TikTok that'll go, hey, if you do this, this, and this, it tastes like Dr. Pepper or something like silly like that.
You could be an influencer.
There you go. Big B, the Real ID Act passed by the U.S. Congress in 2005.
2005. So who was president in 2005? Was that Bush?
Was it Bush or Obama?
No, Obama was later than that.
Obama was, so it may have been Bush. All right, so I was mistaken by my president. I don't know why I kept thinking Bill Clinton. So it was probably then 2005, I guess, was Bush. It may have been Obama. They were both shit. So
yeah, I could have seen Bill and Hillary running out to "Don't Stop Thinking About Tomorrow." I can see
It
it
is Bush.
yesterday.
It was Bush. Okay.
Was George Bush. All right.
Another shitty president.
I like Bush myself, but I don't know. What do I know? I'm not an American. But it is Easter weekend, and I'm not really doing the normal Easter thing because I'm taking off to Toronto on Sunday. Scotty, what's your big Easter plans?
Sleep.
Sleep. You have the most exciting life.
I am. Yeah, I don't have anything for Easter. I have to work Easter night, so it's not anything major.
You should take Chair out and have a buffet.
You should buy an Easter plant to put on Chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could. I have to go find a place to go. I might do that tomorrow because I have to go over to the house and do laundry. So I might check out a plant or something maybe tomorrow. We'll see.
Yeah, and maybe like there might be like a Bob Evans or something down there. You can get a nice buffet.
There is a Bob Evans, but it's like 30 minutes away or 45 minutes away, so it may not work out. But who knows?
You do have a chair that you can sit on and rest halfway.
That is true.
So it's really only 2 15-minute walks.
I have a question.
It's a long way. It's 45 minutes by car. It's probably about 4 or 5 hours by walking, and I don't think I would survive that.
It was 30 minutes.
If you go by car, if you go by or bus,
you need to get wheels. You need to get wheels and a battery for Chair. That's what you need.
Well,
motorized chair.
If we could put wheels and battery, and you'd have to have a steering wheel and whatever. If I could just make it electric, I think that would be cool.
There you go. There's your summer project. Baby, you have a question.
I do have a question because you said something, and maybe we've covered it before, but it was just kind of glossed over because you were telling your story. You said you were going to the house to do laundry.
Yeah, what is the house? Is that a business or?
No, it is my ex's house or the house I used to live in.
So you still go, and that's what I thought it was. So you still go over there to do your laundry.
Do laundry, to talk to her for a second for whatever reason, to walk the dogs during the week if they need to have the dogs walked if they're not going to be home for a while or whatever.
So this is all part of the conjugal visits that you arranged during the breakup.
Talked into. Let's put it that way.
I don't think, but is there anything conjugal going on?
No.
How do you get talked into doing laundry at someone's house?
No, it's called being talked into, but for other things like walking the dogs, going certain places, going over for dinner.
So, from what I understand about that relationship, it didn't end amicably. It was very, from what I understand, I could be wrong, but from what I understand, it was a contentious breakup. You went your way, she went her way, or she stayed in the house and you went your way. And now you are.
Don't forget, she moved another guy in.
Right, she moved somebody else in, and you're being talked into walking the dogs when they're not around.
Yeah, I'm a block away.
Why don't you just say no?
Because they were mine for 3 years, so I do have, I have ties to the dogs. So
okay.
they're
all right. That's fine.
I mean, I consider them my dogs. So I mean, if
they ever come and stay with you, though,
no, they can't get in the house. There's nowhere for them to be, and they would eat anything that they can get their paws and their mouths on. So, Chair would be a very bad. It would be in a very bad way because they'd probably tear up Chair, and I don't want Chair to be teared up.
Isn't Chair metal?
Yeah, but there's padding on it.
Oh, is there? Oh, I thought it was straight metal.
Nope, there's padding. Okay. I mean, why would I sit on a metal chair?
Why wouldn't you?
Well, as long as it has padding, yes.
Okay, so
if it was straight metal, it would make my butt sore.
Push comes to you get hemorrhoids. Push comes to shove at the end of the day. You're giving now. I also want to ask one more question, but you've got use of the washer and dryer, which is very nice. That saves going to a laundromat. But you also say you have to show up for dinners.
Every once in a while, they'll offer to have me come over for dinner. She offered tonight, so I told her, well, if you guys are having dinner and you decided that, if you wanted me to come over, I can come over. It was amicable. It wasn't contentious too much. It was more of, I'm kicking your ass out and replacing you with someone better.
That doesn't sound amicable.
Yeah, and that doesn't
it was
well at all. But I got a question before and carry on with the story before we move into our news and stuff. But so you're sitting at dinner. It kind of reminds me of that movie with Hannibal Lecter eating the guy's brain. Let's call the new guy Chuck. What do you and Chuck talk about when you're over there for dinner? There's
nothing.
Guy, your ex, and you with a candle lit in the middle of the table.
Basically, it's them either talking about their work or whatever they've been doing, or watching him play video games. That's basically it. The last time I was over for dinner, he was playing Tomb Raider, which was interesting. It was fun watching him play, but it was so boring. And it was like, well, why, I hate watching people play games. That's the first part. Because if I can't play, or if it's something like you have to get through this one point in the game and you're fighting other bad guys and he keeps dying, and I know why he keeps dying, because he's doing something stupid. So it takes him 3 or 4 tries, where I think probably with me it would have taken 2. So he keeps doing the same thing over and over and over. He noticed that he's dying. He keeps dying. And I'm just kind of looking at him going, why aren't you doing it this way? Thinking of that way and not telling him, because I know he's going to figure it out. And I hate telling people that, why don't you go over, go to your left instead of going to your right, or why don't you throw this or shoot this person first?
So while you are playing video games, Angie's in the kitchen making key lime pie, or what?
She's either making dinner or she's sitting next to him watching him play the game.
See, but if you're watching the game and he's playing the game and he's dying, and you see a different way, that's a great conversation starter. Be like, hey, maybe if you go over here, you might, get past this guy that keeps killing you.
Or look, I know we started off on the wrong foot, but speaking of feet, did you ever think of jumping that tree?
The way that I look at it, and the quick story is, I don't freaking care. But somewhere before, I think sometime before, I can't remember now. No, I think it's before. I had the car one morning, and I think I've told this story before, is when I found the wrench for the lug nuts, I noticed that was not something you buy at a store. And she said, oh, I was just giving it because of this. Well, that's kind of one of those stupid clues. And then basically, as soon as I was gone, I had to go over to the house for something, and all of his shit is in the living room. And when I was there, before I moved out, is we worked different shifts, so I could take care of the dogs during the day. She could take care of them at night when I go to work. So with all of his shit all over the place, they have no place basically to run, because I would let them run for like 20 minutes, get all their energy out, to take them outside, do whatever they're going to do, bring them inside, let them run around. And there was one day when I walked in, and I kind of had an inkling that something was going on, This is after I moved out, and all of his shit's there. And I'm like, you're now treating the dogs like crap. A, you're not feeding them. B, you're not letting them deal with what they're doing with, because now they're going to be held up in their cages for 5 or 6 or 7 hours while you guys are at work. So I'm looking at it as you're not treating the dogs as fair.
You could call Humane Society.
No, I'd rather just go over and take care of them and let Angie know that, hey, I'm going over and that I haven't burned down the house yet.
See, if he were to call the Humane Society, they could move to take the dogs away, which means he wouldn't see them. And if he considers them partially his dogs, he wouldn't be able to see the dogs again because they would be taken away from the house.
Yeah, and they're safe enough that nothing's going to hurt them.
As long as you tolerate hanging with Chuck and playing Tomb Raider.
Yeah, can we go back 1 second to the wrench, the lug nut wrench? I was lost in what that had to do with anything.
It was in a box in the back seat. And
okay.
We have a Chevy Trax, or I used to. It's not mine anymore. Because she uses it for work. She has to have a vehicle. I can take a bus. It's easy for me to get to work.
Right.
And there was a professional looking lug nut wrench in the back seat. And I seen it and I went, yeah, I think there is something going on. So I was a little worried about that.
That's a wrench you've never seen before.
No, not at all.
Okay, now I got it. Okay, gotcha.
This was it wasn't a scent of another man's cologne. It wasn't, she was wearing a different t-shirt that you didn't recognize. It was a lug wrench in the back of the car that you said, ding, ding.
Yeah. Now, there is another part of the story, and it's like kind of the other shoe, is we both know who it is.
Oh, so he's a friend of yours.
He's not mine, but Angie knows him from Pet Boys, who works on the company's or the hospital's van, besides other things. But she met him down there. We've known him for a couple of years, and I think that there was something between them because she always takes the van down to that particular Pet Boys. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm out. I'm done. I can move out. It'll take me a couple months to find a place, and I was done.
So now, did he ever come for dinner during those couple of years? Well,
No, but I'm sure that there was some things probably said between the two within the last couple of years of going, hey, I'm going to kick his ass out here shortly and, move your ass in.
All right.
And when she told me that where he worked and where he lived, I was thinking, that's pretty far away for him to be commuting every day. And so that kind of dawned on me as well, as I'm sure she's going to move him in, and she did. So it is what it is.
Now, how have the in-laws taken this? Because you were very popular with them.
They don't care.
Oh, okay.
I don't talk to her side of the family anyway.
All right.
I don't care. I don't want to be mean or anything, but I don't care if I talk to them ever again.
Gotcha.
Can I ask one more question?
Of course you can.
It's your show, yes.
When you first met this woman, Angie, I don't know the whole story. When you first met her, did you meet her in Second Life, like you met?
No, I met her at work.
Okay.
Basically, the story goes is I was going to start for a new company. They're a grocery store chain in Pennsylvania, and I think there might be a couple other places. And they were opening up a new gas station in a small town, kind of where I used to live. And I got hired for the position of overnight cashier. And I had made a mistake on my application. I put something wrong, and they had to fix it. So I was held back for like a week or two. Well, Angie had been trained for overnight, and then when I came there, she was there training me, and I just kind of fell for her. Her mom, there's a big age difference between Angie and I, and her mom didn't think that I was the right person for her. And so, over the years, we've been okay. But I don't talk to them, they don't talk to me, and that's fine.
All right.
Got it. Okay.
I rest my case.
There you go.
All right. So, let's head into the news.
Hold up. Give me a minute.
We have we got to do the intro and all that stuff. We have a bunch of stuff this week.
Now it's time for the news with our senior correspondent, the Big B.
So here's our Easter trip around the world, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to Cave Crew Radio. Stay tuned after the break. Scotty is going to try coconut tea.
I can't wait.
Oh, should be delicious. There is no lactose in coconut, correct?
No.
Okay, good.
How great would it be to have him try coconut tea and then shit himself?
Oh, live on here.
That is so mean, Big B. That is so mean.
This is Shock Talk Radio.
It certainly is.
It is Shock Talk Radio, but if it's one of the I don't know, third man on the totem pole type of thing,
Junior,
am I the person the person that gets like slapped around by a fish or dropped an anvil on or chucked off of dropped off of a helicopter or whatever?
We encourage you to FaceTime Choo Choo Stew at your leisure.
No.
You will see what,
he probably won't be awake if I try to do it right now.
Well, keep in mind, when he was here, I did taser him.
Yes, he's been
live on air.
Oh, I'm not. No, I have a friend who's going through SWAT training, and he said it freaking hurts.
Well, of course it does. It was funny.
No.
It was still funny.
I'm sure it was funny. I'm not going to fall for it.
He's gone into a bar to investigate a haunted toilet. He's all kinds of good stuff for us. So yeah.
Speaking of bars, do you remember the incident with Violet?
Oh, when she was when I was interviewing people in the bar during the Pittsburgh Vikings game.
Right.
Yes, I do remember that.
I know. As soon as you said bar, I was like, Violet.
And Violet walked home, broke a heel, and went missing.
Yeah, and I freaked the fuck out.
Yeah,
I was freaking out like crazy.
She went missing. Anyway, back to the news.
Our first story of the night comes from CNBC. The headline reads, "Video shows what happens when a driverless car gets pulled over." A recent video posted online shows a driverless cruise car, it's a Chevy Cruise, getting pulled over in San Francisco by police who found the autonomous vehicle didn't have anyone behind the wheel.
Right.
In the video posted on April 1st, the cruise car initially pulls over to the side of the road and stops as a cop approached the driver's side before accelerating to cross an intersection and pull off further down the road. Right. Are you serious? How does that happen? A bystander yells in the video. Cruz said on Sunday that the car behaved as expected. Our AV yielded to the police vehicle, then pulled over to the nearest safe location as intended. An officer contacted Cruz personnel and no citation was issued. Cruz told CNBC that the San Francisco Police Department has a dedicated phone number available at all times for officers to call when the company's driverless vehicles get pulled over. Why are driverless vehicles getting pulled over is my question, first of all. And second of all, it acted as if it committed a crime. It waited till the cop got out of the car and then took off.
Well, wait a minute. So I don't mean to stick up for the car, but I watched this story on like Good Morning America or something before work. So it had its headlights blown out or something. So whatever it is, the sensor in the driverless car saw the police lights and pulled over.
Mm-hmm.
I guess when the police backed off or whatever, realizing they were in some kind of a Ghostbusters scenario, not knowing that there were driverless cars in the town, the car accelerated through the intersection and parked so it was safe and wouldn't cause any accidents.
How awesome would it be? Now, you remember we talked about Live PD. You remember the car chases that went on during Live PD.
Yeah.
How awesome would it be for a driverless AI-driven car to be in a high-speed pursuit, and we could watch it live on TV?
It'd be beautiful, better than O.J. Simpson. But what are they using these fucking cars for?
I have no idea.
So, what is the purpose? Are they designated drivers? Are they getting people home from the bars? I'm all for a lot of shit, but this driverless car stuff kind of concerns me.
So further in the story,
Computer chip goes and the thing starts driving erratically all over the place.
The story, as the story moves on, it says Cruise, a GM subsidiary, again the Chevy Cruise, a GM subsidiary, started to offer nighttime rides to the public earlier this year in San Francisco in driverless cars.
Okay.
Although it's not yet charging, and riders need to apply for a wait list. Waymo, an Alphabet subsidiary, I don't know what that is planning to offer free driverless rides in its cars in San Francisco to members of a testing program, and has completed tens of thousands of rides without a driver in Arizona. Nuro has a deployment permit to operate driverless cars in San Francisco as well, but the startup focuses on delivery, not a taxi service. So two companies are offering taxi services. One is preparing for a delivery service, all with driverless vehicles.
I mean, we've heard about Amazon or Walmart or whoever it was delivering parcels via Zoom, not Zoom, but drones.
Mm-hmm.
I have yet to see anything. I mean, we have in town here a personless drive-through window with a conveyor belt at a Tim Hortons.
Oh, interesting.
I just wonder if any of us are going to have jobs. I mean, I'm approaching end game, so I think I'm okay, but I worry about our children.
Well, see, I always think whenever these new type of technologies come up, I think of the extreme worst, right? So if you're offering a taxi service and it's a driverless vehicle, what's stopping the passenger from stealing the car?
Well, I don't think they have steering wheels, do they?
They have to. How do you make a turn without a steering wheel?
It's a driverless car. It's probably all done internally. I don't know. I don't have one.
I'm going on the assumption that there's a steering wheel.
Okay.
What's stopping you get a rowdy drunk at the end of a night, Saturday night, signs up for this driverless vehicle and thinks it's a good idea. I'm going to steal the car.
Yeah.
What's stopping these people from stealing the cars?
On Taco Bell.
Right. Yeah. I don't want to go home. I want to go to Taco Bell and, I'm going to go to my friend's house and, we're going to eat. What's stopping them from stealing the car and doing this? On the other side of the delivery, the driverless delivery vehicles, what's stopping if they go to the first stop and however it's worked out where they get the delivery, what's stopping that person from either taking the other packages in the delivery vehicle or if they're locked, just taking the delivery vehicle?
Well, I think we spoke about this before. I think there must have been another story. We were talking about someone doing deliveries because also, how does the parcel get out of the car?
Right. There's so many questions that in these stories they don't answer. And my mind automatically goes to the extreme. So until you can tell me that it's like a safe or a lockbox, that you have a certain code, that it's only your package that you can open and take it, I'm going to think that the packages are just out there freely and you can take whatever you want or just take the entire vehicle.
Right. Or maybe this one's mine.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's a big one. That kind of looks like a TV. Yeah. I'm going to take that one too. none of these stories show any type of security behind these vehicles or package delivery services.
And they wonder why the world jumps to conclusions on
Right.
everything. Because they never tell us the whole fucking story.
Never. And there are so many unanswered questions that people can't get behind this technology until you answer these questions.
Right. We've got to sit there and peel back the onion and try and figure things out for ourselves.
I would hate to be the person that gets to the car at night or in the morning to detail it and there's throw up everywhere.
Yeah, can you imagine that? Like, even you get an honest guy, an honest drunk from a Saturday night, and he just wants to go home, but halfway through the ride, and I've done it, halfway through the ride, you feel motion sickness, you get sick, and you puke everywhere. I've done it in a taxi.
Projectile vomit.
Right. Yeah. So, and that car will keep going. Like, like you puke in the car, you get up and you go home, that car goes on to its next stop because it doesn't know you puked in the car. The person there is like, what the fuck is this? Then what happens?
Good point, Scotty.
Yeah, I've talked to a couple of Uber drivers, and they will actually charge for the cleanup for puke.
Oh, I did.
Well, that makes sense. I'm sure.
It's like $200 or $300, so that's what you're going to get charged extra for the for the $30 or $40 ride that could be from a bar to your house. You throw up midway, and he's going to either pull over or he's going to throw you out, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, here's an extra charge for you."
So let me tell you this quick story. I was at my friend's bachelor party years and years and years ago. We were at a bar in the city. We were on our way to a strip club in Queens. I got hammered. I got to the cab with two other people, two other friends. We were going to a strip club in Queens, from Manhattan to Queens. We get the yellow cab. We're going over a bridge to get, because there's a body of water that separates Manhattan and Queens. We're going over the bridge. I get really, really sick. I'm sitting on the left side. I try to open the door on the bridge so I can puke out the door, trying to be respectful. The cab driver starts screaming and yelling, close the door, because he doesn't know what I'm doing. So I was like, all right, fuck it. I closed the door. I puked on the floor in front of me. We go over the bridge. We go to where the strip club. We stop. The cab driver's pissed and yelling at us. The two other guys got out and left me there. So I handed the guy a $20 bill. I was like, here. He's like, just get out of the fucking car. He was all mad that I only gave him $20 and he had to go clean. Like, he lost like hours worth of money that he would have made picking up fares. And I gave him a 20.
Now,
and I went into the strip club and got lap dances with people.
How did you feel after said vomit?
100 times better.
You had the breath of angels and you were drooling over those boobies.
Oh my, I swear to God, after I puked, it like, that's like the kind of puke where it sobers you up.
Right.
So we got to the strip club.
Also puking acid. So you know what it does to your breath.
Oh, well, 100%. But I had it on my pants too. So I asked one of my friends to go. There was a gas station right across the street, to get me a bottle of water, not to drink, but to, wipe it off my pants because we're going to a strip club. I don't want, I'm not going to be able to, they're not going to let me in with puke all over myself. So I washed it kind of with the bottle of water. I got the puke off my pants. I walked into the strip club. They patted me down. They patted my wet pants and didn't say anything. So I went in and I'm getting this lap dance from the stripper, and I have, vomit, awful breath, and I'm still hammered, by the way. At this time I'm getting, I've drank a little more. I've gotten more drunk and I have awful vomit breath, and I'm sitting there, and this stripper didn't want to have anything to do with me when she smelled that and wanted to leave. And I kept pulling her back. No, one more song. And she was so like she was a fucking prisoner from fucking, Al Qaeda that wanted to get out of there. And I just kept pulling her back.
You can deal with a lot of things, but vomit breath.
You know what? She did it because I'm paying her fucking $20 a lap dance.
Right. And I wonder if she went and vomited.
I don't care. I gave her money. I paid her.
Nice.
She stayed. She could have easily called security on me and be like, I want this dude gone. No, I paid her money. That's how much they value the dollar over any type of, oh my God, just want to get out of here.
Did she smile?
I don't remember. It was dark and I was drunk and I had vomit breath.
You had vomit breath. All right, listen. This kind of ties into this one because this story kind of goes out the other end. What a excuse. Also involving cars and not quite vomit breath. But if you were listening to last week's show, ladies and gentlemen, the girl that held in her farts claimed that she burped them afterwards. So, anyway.
So this coming from the Toronto Sun. Headline reads, driver blames her bowel issue for collision that killed 2 cyclists.
I think we shouldn't laugh when someone dies, but
now before I read the story, let's preface this. It's horrifically terrible that 2 cyclists were killed during this accident. Let's put that out first and foremost. Obviously, that's not funny. We're making fun of her reaction.
Right. Like, let's face it, they're covering the, my God, I wish you could get a quieter vape. It's like you're sucking on vomit breath. Anyway, yeah, on the news, they cover the Ukrainian war, they cover deaths, they cover murders, and we're just covering a story here, folks, that involves an unfortunate incident, but just listen to why.
A Utah woman who is accused of hitting and killing 2 brothers with her car is blaming her irritable bowel syndrome for the crash.
Good old irritable bowel syndrome.
Julianne Budge told police her condition caused her to defecate on herself without warning. Saturday, before the vehicle slammed into the cyclists who were competing in the spring Tour of St. George near Washington City, 480 kilometers south of Salt Lake City. Budge said the uncontrollable defecation led her to swerve into the bike lane, and although she knew she hit 2 people on the bikes, she told police she was unable to bring her car to a stop. Was perhaps the brake pedal slippery with shit?
Oh, God. So this was like a major diary. This was not a log she dropped in it.
Well, this is according to her. However, a witness at the scene told the arresting officers that it appeared that Julie did not have the intention of stopping after hitting the 2 cyclists. The witness stated he followed Julie's vehicle until she pulled over and stopped several hundred yards away from the accident. Several hundred yards away is 300 plus. Now, 1 football field is 100 yards, so you're talking about at least 3 football fields away from the accident.
About a mile away. But the proof is in the pudding. Did she smell like shit?
Attempts were made to revive the California men, but they were unresponsive and later died in the hospital, which is very tragic. Budge failed all field sobriety tests conducted by police on scene, and she claimed she'd been at the hospital on Friday and received fentanyl through an IV drip.
Fentanyl is now a treatment for irritable bowel syndrome.
Ladies and gentlemen, fentanyl is the stuff that comes over the border from Mexico that is put illegally into all sorts of drugs like heroin, cocaine, and weed.
Yes.
It is deadly. They are not giving it to you at the hospital.
No. It's not something to say, I've got a wee pain.
Right. Yeah. I got a headache. You got any of that fentanyl? That's not a thing.
Not a thing.
Budge, she was previously convicted of DUI in 2015, and she now faces 8 serious charges, including 2 counts of automobile homicide due to criminal negligence, 2 counts of failure to remain at an accident involving death, and 2 counts of DUI with serious bodily injury by negligent operation. At no point in here does they say that the police found that she shit herself.
Right. Especially to make the brake slippery. So
Right.
it's not even that she smelled. There was no evidence around the pedals of said car.
At no point did the police say that they smelt it or saw it. And of course, her saying that she received fentanyl in the hospital through an IV drip is completely
false.
False.
Mm-hmm.
Unless Utah has rules we don't know about. But now, what exactly is? I mean, I've heard of Crohn's, I've heard of colitis, I've heard of all. I don't know exactly what irritable bowel syndrome is. Is that when you can't tell the difference between a fart and a shit?
Well, no. So that'll be certain things will be. I don't want to say trigger, but kind of will induce your body to have to shit.
Okay.
Like some people. Some people, and I know at least one person that has the issue when they're by like air conditioned areas, and the air conditioner is blowing directly on them. That happens to them. Well, it doesn't mean you have to shit right away. It doesn't mean you just suddenly explode into shit.
Well, that's what I was going to say, because there's certain foods that I really enjoy that react to me. And again, like you said, it's not like I'm squeezing my ass so tight I'm running into the john, but it makes me have to go to the bathroom.
Correct. Right. That's kind of what irritable bowel syndrome is. And it's a more reoccurring thing. Like once every once in a while, you don't have IBS. But if it's a recurring thing, you may have IBS. Right. Again, there's medication for it, not fentanyl.
Right. And you're not shitting yourself.
Right. You're not, uncontrollably shitting yourself. That means you feel the need to go to the bathroom, and you probably should, sooner rather than later.
Get there quicker than you should.
Correct.
Now, whose dogs are freaking out right now?
Not mine.
It might be my neighbor's outside. I opened my window because it was getting really stuffy in here.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. I gotta get another beer.
All right, and I will mention that, Scotty, you were walking like you need a cane.
Oh, my body hurts right now.
Okay. Well, all right. Once Big B gets back here, we'll. Anybody let me know when I got to go to break, but I'm going to go to the next story here.
Well, I say we go to break before the Florida stories.
Okay, so we still have a couple of good ones.
Yeah. I have it ready.
I'm waiting for
There's an article under the National Library of Medicine. They said that 10 IBS patients and 10 normal subjects received on separate days either high dose of fentanyl. High doses or low doses of fentanyl.
Okay.
So it's possible, but I would doubt that they would give that at the hospital and go, oh, yeah, by the way, since you have IBS, we're going to give you this.
So
that's not a thing.
I doubt that happened.
Yeah.
IBS is the new lab rat.
Yeah. I got IBS. Let me go get some fentanyl from the hospital.
Just another excuse we have. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we move into another story. I don't think these particular things could either vomit or shit their pants.
This coming from the Toronto Sun. Headline reads, people would prefer a threesome with a robot over a human.
Oh.
A recent study concluded people would rather have a threesome with a robot than go through the hassle of finding a willing participant. The results showed 2 in 5 people were open to the idea of having sex with a robot. Ladies and gentlemen, before I go any further, 2 in 5 is not a majority. That is a minority.
That is, but 36% or something.
Right. Yes. It's not a majority.
But anyway.
More surprisingly, it found that more people would prefer to be intimate with a sex bot than have casual sex with a human lover. Sexual Alpha surveyed 3,292 people to find out about their familiarity with and interest in getting intimate with a robot. The online retailer acknowledged
polls.
What?
How come I never get invited to these polls on Facebook? I'm always asked if I like, what rice do I like better? Or
I think you have to belong to some really shady websites.
all right.
The online adult retailer acknowledged that their sample size was small, but they purposely sought open-minded individuals. Before taking the survey, people needed to indicate that they are okay with being asked sensitive kinds of questions, a requirement for all sex-related questionnaires, which means that a pool of people isn't exactly random.
Right.
Sex bots are becoming an increasingly realistic option for people, so they wanted to find out how many people had personal experience with sex robots, what people thought about interacting with them, and what they think might happen in the future.
Hey,
participants were instructed to
cars. You can have sex robot brothels.
I'm assuming that will come soon.
Yeah. Although
participants,
I look into the eyes of that thing, and it's like a Barbie. Like I like it doesn't even look human.
I don't understand how you look at that and say, "Yeah, I want to have sex."
Yeah.
That I don't know. Participants were instructed to assume they were.
Before you carry on, do you squeeze the cheeks and like the mouth opens like a goldfish? And
well, if it's a robot, I would hopefully it would be animatronic where it would open by itself.
So yeah, you just press buttons.
I would hope.
Or use the trigger word.
Or maybe there's an app.
Yeah, maybe
an app or remote.
Oh, this is now great fun. I'm very intrigued.
Participants were instructed to assume they were single and desired some kind of sexual release when presented with a list of potential options to satisfy their desires. Masturbation was the most popular choice at 49.2%.
Really?
Followed by
a majority. Still not a majority.
Still not a majority. Followed by using a sex toy with 42.5% of respondents. However, 37.5% of those polled said they might make use of a sex robot. More than 30.2% who said they would be likely to invite a human over for casual sex.
Okay, so here's my question. The headline of the story said that if a couple wanted to indulge in a threesome, they were more likely to do it with a robot. And then as you're reading the story, you're polling single people that masturbate that want to do this with a sex robot.
Right. So this is
where is this? You're in the bar and you go, "Hey, I got a sex robot for the weekend back at the hotel. Do you want to come back with me there, sweetie?"
Can you imagine that being a pickup line and somebody actually saying yes?
Don't worry what you think of me. I got a sex robot back at the room. Go, gadget, go.
Go, gadget, clit. Hiring a human sex worker came in last with only 21.1% of people choosing it.
Well, there is all these diseases and stuff, right? So,
right there. I mean, there are things,
or they may steal your wallet or all these.
This isn't exactly an objective type of survey because, you're giving the option of, one, like you said, it seems like it's single people instead of having couples having a threesome. So they're talking about, would you like masturbation to use a sex toy, which could be actual masturbation. It's if you're using a sex toy,
right,
you're still masturbating.
Right. You can get a robotic vagina, a robotic penis. So
Right.
You're just adding the other appendages.
Right.
It's like the Lego of sex. You're just buying add-on kits. Imagine you can't afford it. You only get the one. Go for the vagina first, then I'll add the legs later. Sex Robot of the Month Club.
Sex Jenga.
Yeah. Anyway.
Sexual Alpha conducted 2 surveys using convenience sampling. The first asked general questions about sex robots to 1,563 people, while the second went into further detail about more specific interests and personal experiences with its 1,729 participants. Prior to the questions asked, a short video was shown to better explain the current state of sex robots, where sex robot was defined as any sex doll variant possessing some interactive capabilities such as speech or movement.
Care less if they talk. Give me the movement. I'm in.
And this is the one thing we've covered so many sex robot. It's really weird to say, first of all, that we've covered so many sex robot stories.
We have covered the evolution, and we usually call them sex dolls. But anyway.
Right. Who in their right mind wants one that communicates? The whole point is sex. Do you want to have fucking tea and crumpets and have a conversation with this thing afterwards?
No, but remember the one dude we covered, and this is before they even started speaking or anything, and he'd dress it up and put it at the table with them like it was. Look, if you're gonna have a sex robot, you're gonna bang it and put it back in the cupboard. You might wash it down with the hose when you're done, but like you're not gonna go out to dinner. It's not chair, okay? It's like there's nothing. There's nothing intellectual about this.
No, absolutely nothing. And I don't get, like, if you're looking for a conversation, why would you get a robot? Why wouldn't you actually get a human being? Because you can have an intelligent interaction with them, regardless of what your intentions are. If you want to have an intelligent interaction, you can hire an escort, and you can sit there as long as you pay them. They don't give a shit what you do. You can sit there and have a conversation the entire night as long as you pay them. They don't care.
Again, due to past research, remember there's some of these escorts that are making an amazing amount of money just to go have dinner with guys. Like they don't even want to. They just want them to accompany them to work functions and weddings and
that is something specific called the girlfriend experience.
Right. There you go. But you don't need a robot for that.
No, you don't. You would think a robot would be strictly sexual.
Right. Press the button. Goldfish mouth. Press button. 360 spin. Reverse cow sow. And away you go. See you later. Leave it to the Uber guy to clean up.
Don't vomit in a driverless vehicle on the way home.
Don't vomit it. Yeah, now, could you imagine the guy going in for sloppy seconds after he was doing some oral fixation? And said sex robot.
And that's the thing. You bring up a really, really good point. With any of these sex robots, you have to clean them. Like, you're going to climax inside or outside of the sex robot.
Right.
You have to clean it.
Right.
So that means you bring it to like either the fucking bathroom sink or the fucking shower
or the sex robot dry cleaner.
Is there a sex robot car wash?
Hey, that's the next big thing. We could create an industry where somebody somebody buys a sex doll from us, and then we give them the sex doll experience where you take it out, have dinner, go back to wherever you want to go, to the house or whatever, and then you have sex with it, and then you go on your.
We end up being kind of the lawn maintenance company. We show up in the hazmat suits after the event, and it's
we would be the equivalent. We would be the equivalent of the Peep Show jizz mopper.
Oh Lord!
But you know, not for nothing. Somebody, and you know, Scotty, you bring up an absolute great point. Somebody will start a business where they, as this sex robot thing grows in popularity, they have a business of cleaning and sterilizing these robots after each session.
Right.
And they will charge a premium. The guy who really puts this into play will become a billionaire.
Right. Well, when someone like this sex robot inventor says, I got this, here's my market, there is always these leeches in the background that have these add-ons and extensions. And yes, of course.
For sure.
Get very rich from this.
There will be not only the cleaning up, and I'm 100% positive there will be a cleaner sterilizer company out there, but there'll be somebody that will do the makeup for the sex robot, the hair. They will, come and dress the robot for you. They will do all these other various things, and it's going to be an entire industry in and of itself of, non porn kind of, fetish related things where somebody's just, all right, I'm putting like a, make lipstick on a fucking robot. Like the people that do the makeup at funeral homes. They're making up the person, it's just a job to them.
Like last week, we're talking about the guy that designed the penis appendages.
Right. It ultimately it's just a job.
And
hey, I'm getting paid.
It's the same.
I can imagine.
Well, if you find those people that do the makeup for the funerals, they could segue into this kind of stuff because
very easily.
They're not. It's basically that's the same thing. Now, my thing would be, could I treat this as a girlfriend, take her out, have dinner with her, and not be viewed as a nut job?
No,
we are in cancel culture. So I mean, as you can identify as a tree, as you don't have to say you are a man or a woman anymore. You can be whatever you want. I'm quite sure this woman in the bottom corner is the next Rodney King. There'll be a decapitation of a sex doll, and there will be riots across the nation.
And
guarantee it.
Oh, I'm sure at some point somebody will come up with sex robot doll rights that's going to go to fucking Capitol Hill and be all this, protest nonsense. But there will be, like I said, in these fringe markets, again, Scotty brings up a good point. When they want to go out with the doll, there will be certain people that open restaurants that cater to this.
Yes.
Where you don't have to feel judged. You can bring your sex robot. We'll give them a plate of fake food. They'll come up with, you can have your real food meal, and we'll come up with a fake food dish to sit in front of your robot so you can feel the entire experience.
Like those fucking plastic fruits that my grandma used to sit on the table.
100%.
I remember, yeah.
They'll finally get use.
That's exactly it. It will be, fake. I'm sure it won't be plastic, but it'll be more realistic, like textures. But it'll look like real food sitting in front of the sex robot, and you're eating your meal, so you feel like you're going out to dinner. You're on a dinner date with your sex robot.
Well, they do have those little babies for kids that you can feed like fake baby food, and then they shit.
How fun would that be for a sex robot to shit right at the table? They make a sex robot with irritable bowel syndrome.
Fuck's sakes.
And it shits all over the table.
Now I have a question about the poll. Mm-hmm. Do they differentiate between men and women?
It doesn't say. It just says people.
Scotty is trying to figure out who is the bigger pig.
Well, there is when you're looking at the statistical standpoint of that, when you're looking at statistics and polls and all that, they don't give you the full, what percentage was male, what percentage was female, what percentage was this and that. They don't give you all that information. So you just have to go under the assumption. You have to make certain assumptions when you're reading this. It could be wildly skewed to males, 40 to 60, let's just say. It could be wildly skewed to that, but you would never know reading the story because they don't give you the parameters of the survey.
They don't let us know. All right. Speaking of going to a restaurant, our next story tells us about a restaurant.
This coming from the Evening Standard in the UK.
The Evening Standard.
Obese diners to be banned from entering naked restaurant because it will be miserable for other guests.
Maybe they can go to the sex stall one instead.
Obese diners will be asked to leave a naked restaurant because it could be miserable for other visitors. The Amarita restaurant, which is set to open in Tokyo, has said that anyone 15 kilograms above the average weight for their height will not be allowed to dine.
Maybe they should start with banning Greek men on cruises in Speedos.
That's very, very specific. Holy shit. Did you have an incident with a Greek man on a cruise in a Speedo?
I just saw the guy
He was running down the beach.
He had a problem with fucking Mykonos running down the beach. The restaurant, which opens on July 29th, will ask guests to check in their clothes and put on paper underwear when they arrive.
Kind of like like a toga.
Sort of like a toga, but just I would assume just covering the nether regions.
Like a tissue.
Like a
tissue. Like tissue or like
probably.
Anyone who is thought to be above the average weight for their height will be weighed and ejected if deemed to be overweight.
Okay, so I can imagine this as you're scrolling. Said Bruno walks in, loses his clothes in the change room, places on his paper underwear. And then, there's probably spotlights with like an MC. All right, step up to the scale.
Let me play Guess Your Weight.
And then do you like drop out of the bottom of the floor or do they just ask you to leave?
In Japan, who knows? It could be any one of those.
I could see like the floor opening and you're gone.
See, now this next line, though, I have a question.
Okay.
It says those who are asked to leave will not be refunded, said the restaurant. But aren't you weighed and looked at before you even sit down? So what are you not refunding?
Well, you probably pay your ticket, I'd imagine. It's like there's a ringmaster or whatever outside. You pay your ticket to go into a naked restaurant. It's not
like an entrance fee.
Okay, because it doesn't say in here that there's an entrance fee. So that was my question.
Well, it's not like going to McDonald's. This is
if it's an upscale restaurant, they're gonna, you're gonna pay $20 at the door, and then if you're 500 pounds overweight, they're gonna go, nope, you don't get it back.
But then why would you even be let in at the door? That's my point.
If there's
so in that case, you are literally stealing from the person because they're not going to dine, but you're taking their entrance fee.
I think they get said person up on the scale, and like it's like the old Romans that probably throw like tomatoes at the person to shame them. It's like like going to a Roman theme dinner.
I'm curious to see how subjective this is.
Right.
Well, they have a scale. That's pretty subjective.
Yeah, but if let's say it's whatever 15 grams, whatever that's pound wise, If you're like barely like 1 pound over that, are they going to still let you in, or are you just going to be kicked out because you weigh too much?
So you're asking how stringent the rules are.
I think
is there a buffer of maybe
experience, and then they're stating that this is something that only thin people would want to do. Again, opening up for major lawsuits.
Well, Miki Komatsu, spokeswoman for Amarita, told AFP, if fat people are allowed in, it could be miserable for some guests. Guests can see the guidelines clearly on our homepage. We're aiming for a sort of Roman aesthetic, like the beautiful paintings you see in museums. People with tattoos are also banned from the restaurant.
Oh,
and diners are asked. People with tattoos are also banned from the restaurant, and diners are asked not to cause a nuisance by touching or talking to other guests.
Okay, you're all naked. It's a fucking orgy.
If you have tattoos, isn't that discrimination?
I've got no interest in eating naked unless I'm going to bang random people. Like, why else would you eat naked?
Why would you eat naked in the first place?
That's what I'm saying. It's like serving hors d'oeuvres at a sex party.
So me and my sex doll go there, and I'm overweight. I can't get in, but she can.
And you just lost your sex doll. You just lost investment.
I guess I'm not going.
And that's the end of the story.
I need to go to Japan. It sounds like a very interesting country.
We've covered many stories from Japan as well, where they have vending machines of panties, where people can buy them and smell them. It's a weird fucking fetish driven country. And then of course they have the suicide forest. Let's not forget that. You can go to a vending machine, get some panties, smell them, and go kill yourself in a specific forest.
Yes. Japan, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, they said you can't create a nuisance. Can you make fun of Can you make fun of other people?
Well, no, because there's no fat people there, so there's nothing to make fun of.
Well, if you see someone who's cute but is flat chested, can you make fun of them?
No, you would be immediately removed from said restaurant.
And you have to understand Japanese culture; they're very respectful culture.
Right.
But this is going to bring in This is going to be a lot of tourist type people in. People that are from other countries as well. So I would say,
Well, and reading that when they said, you're not to touch other customers and all this, I can just picture a tourist from Germany coming in, getting hammered, and then walking over to some hot Japanese girl and try to cop a feel and talk to her and all of this. How do they enforce this? And is the staff naked?
I was just thinking that. It's like, when you order, is he or she naked? Are they dressed up?
Once again, we're left to wonder. But
there are tons of questions.
Here's a person who was definitely naked.
This coming from the left-wing liberal shitbag Huffington Post. Headline reads, passenger accused of masturbating 4 times on Southwest flight.
Not once, not twice. 4 times.
4 times. Like the 4 horsemen, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
They were up there 4 times.
Do tell. This one is the one I've been waiting for.
A Southwest Airlines flight from Seattle to Phoenix turned into a touchy situation after one of the passengers reportedly pulled down his pants and masturbated at least 4 times in front of a female passenger during the 3-hour flight.
So each time, did he put his pants back on?
That's what it seems like.
I'm just wondering how they deciphered each said beat session.
I would assume that's like he would jerk off for a little bit, pull his pants up, wait a little while, jerk off again, pull his pants up, and do that 4 times.
What do you do? Just look at her and go, just kidding.
Well, we will find out. Antonio Sherrod McGarity was arrested in Phoenix when Southwest Flight 3814 landed at Sky Harbor International Airport. I can't wait to go to Phoenix.
Yeah, you're on your way.
Oh, boy, I can't wait.
Bring your camera.
Oh, for sure. According to an arrest document obtained by the Daily Beast, McGarity admitted the public masturbation and said he didn't do anything wrong. He added that he thought the whole incident was kind of kinky, according to the document, which gave only the man's name. Shortly after the plane took off, McGarity allegedly exposed his penis by pulling down his pants and shorts and began masturbating. The woman seated next to McGarity reacted by taking pictures of him engaged in the act.
Right. So who is the voyeur in this particular story?
Well, obviously the passenger. After he fell asleep, the female passenger told a crew member about her experience and was allowed to move to another seat. So she watched him masturbate.
Right.
Waited until he pulled his pants back up, went to sleep, and then reported it.
With the pictures.
The woman later told Phoenix police officers that she saw the man masturbate 4 times using both hands. She also suspected
she was really paying attention.
She was 100% engaged.
She wasn't glancing. She wasn't glancing over her novel. She was like thoroughly involved in this.
Fuck the Ryan Gosling movie that was playing in the background.
Yeah.
She's totally engrossed in what this guy is doing.
Yeah, eating her crackers and peanuts and sipping a nice glass of Chardonnay.
She also suspected he reached orgasm at least once. She saw him licking a white substance off his fingers.
Ew.
Okay, how do you suspect?
Ew.
McGarity allegedly admitting masturbation to orgasm to FBI agents and said he asked the woman who reported it if she minded him doing it. He said the woman simply put her hands up in the air and said, "It doesn't really matter."
See,
what?
This girl is not innocent.
No,
not at all.
She's like,
not at all.
I'm not part of it, but please let me film your situation.
Right. McGarity faces charges for lewd, indecent, or obscene acts on an aircraft. In addition, Southwest said it has placed McGarity on a no-fly list, which means he is banned from traveling on the airline for 1 year.
He's like a terrorist just because he ejaculated mid-flight.
Yeah, he is now on a no-fly list, can no longer fly on Southwest Airlines because he jerked off not once, not twice, but 4 times. And the woman who reported him loved every second of it. This story
uploaded it if you Google on Pornhub.
This story does not dissuade me from thinking that she liked it. She enjoyed it. She watched every time she did it. She was very specific about his actions.
She was licking her lips when he was doing said action with the white stuff.
Oh, God. And she didn't report it right away. She waited until he pulled his pants up and went to sleep to report it. She was not disgusted. She was amused. Right. It was a thing for her.
She thought, show it's over. I'm going to report the guy. I'm going to get a free flight somewhere. And then she realized, we're just a quarter into this now. Here he goes again. Correct. With 2 hands.
Hell, she could have gotten tickets for life after this.
Wait.
He's not using one hand, Scotty. He's got the cock the size of a horse.
That's exactly what I was going to bring up. Can we give this guy a little credit? Because she said he used both hands.
Both
This
hands.
guy is hung like a motherfucker.
You guys got to be honest. If you're not being honest with yourself, this guy needed two hands. Of course she loved it.
100%. This guy has got fucking horse cock on Southwest Airlines, and he's using two hands to jerk himself off. She's loving it. She's recording it. She can't wait to see what's next.
She's texting her sister Betsy going, this thing's the size of my husband's forearm.
And of course, that point is just glanced over.
He's the guilty one.
Yeah, I wonder if she got his phone number.
Maybe he thought the plane was crashing and he was taking it out as a lifeboat.
He used it as a propeller.
We'll just call him Moby.
It's funny. You say propeller. There was I watched this thing, and I'm sure DK you watch it too on Vice, called the Dark Side of Wrestling or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So there was an episode called the Flight from Hell or whatever it was.
Yeah, the Ric Flair.
Yes, when they say Ric Flair was spinning his dick like a helicopter.
Yes, yeah. That was the infamous J.J. Dillon, and that's back to the original Four Horsemen.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And he still denies it to this day.
I wouldn't. I would say, yeah, I'm hung like that. I can helicopter my dick at will.
Yeah, I am Ric Flair. Woo.
Right.
Woo. All right, so no Mike Jolis this week, ladies and gentlemen. So Scotty was good enough to do something. This is a Scotty and Chair production. The history and traditions of Easter. I strongly encourage everyone to take a break and meet us back shortly.
Don't touch that dial. Cave Crew Radio will be right back.
For many people of the Christian faith, Easter is the most important holiday of the year. It is the culmination of the religious season of Lent and the day on which Christians celebrate the resurrection of Jesus. In addition to its religious importance, Easter is also a popular secular holiday, thanks to its association with the Easter Bunny, colorful decorated eggs, and of course, all that candy. The first recorded celebration of Easter was back in the 2nd century, but it probably goes back even further than that. According to one popular theory, early Christians adopted Easter from a pagan festival celebrating Biostra, the Anglo-Saxon goddess of spring and fertility. The goddess consorted with a hare, which, as the theory goes, was the original inspiration for today's Easter Bunny. But it appears that little evidence exists to support this story. So where did the Easter Bunny actually come from? Rabbits are an ancient symbol of fertility and new life. Two ideas strongly associated with spring and with Easter. The connection between rabbits and Easter arose in Protestant Europe in the 17th century and was probably brought to America a century later by German immigrants. But we bet you didn't know that the Easter Bunny isn't the only animal associated with the holiday. In Switzerland, a cuckoo delivers the Easter eggs, while in different parts of Germany, kids wait for the Easter fox, chick, rooster, or stork. Though eggs also symbolize fertility and renewal, they may have become popular on Easter for a more practical reason. For centuries, the Christian church banned eggs along with other foods during Lent, and it became a special treat to eat them again at Easter. Decorating eggs is one of the oldest Easter customs. One of history's most lavish Easter traditions developed in late 19th century Russia, when royalty and other members of high society began giving each other jewel-encrusted eggs as Easter gifts. The man behind these insanely valuable eggs was the artist, jeweler, goldsmith Peter Carl Fabergé, who was commissioned by Tsar Alexander III to create jeweled Easter eggs for his wife. For most Americans, however, Easter is about the sweet stuff. Candy. U.S. candy makers produce some 90 million chocolate bunnies and 16 billion jelly beans for Easter each year. Jelly beans were invented in the 17th century, but they only became an Easter candy in the 1930s after merchants pointed out how much they look like eggs. Today, more candy is sold for Easter than any other holiday, except for Halloween. And more than 88% of American parents prepare Easter baskets for their kids. From its powerful religious significance to its popular customs, Easter ranks among our most widely celebrated holidays. This spring, sweeten up your celebration with a little history and some fun Easter facts we bet you didn't know.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. The fastest history lesson you'll ever get. Thanks to Scotty and Chair Presents. Wait to see the next Scotty and Chair Presents.
That's new to me. That's going to be fun.
Maybe he'll do one for us for each holiday.
There you go.
It was very informative. I was quite impressed.
I didn't know that in Germany they waited for the fox to deliver the candy. And then they kept talking about fertility, which kind of goes along with the show.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talk about fertility. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, we move into a popular part of the news for a couple of quick stories from our favorite state in the entire planet, where Big B can now go because he's got a enhanced license.
Everyone from Florida is stupid.
Cave Crew Radio presents Florida in the news.
Florida in the news, ladies and gentlemen.
This is everybody's favorite state. This is where the best news comes from. This coming from NBC News. Headline reads, CDC urges men who have sex with men to get meningococcal disease vaccine amid the Florida outbreak.
So this is not COVID. This is not COVID. This is
not COVID. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is warning gay and bisexual men in Florida about an outbreak of meningococcal disease in Florida, urging men who have sex with men to get vaccinated. The state health department reported last week that the number of meningococcal cases identified this year has already surpassed the 5-year average in the state. The CDC has also identified cases among college students, but it says they are not part of the larger outbreak affecting men who have sex with men. They keep specifying that.
Yes,
they love that men who have sex with men.
Well, that would be gay and bisexual men, I would imagine.
The two most common types of meningococcal, holy shit, I'm drinking a lot, infections are meningitis, which is an infection of the lining of the brain, and the spinal cord, and bloodstream infection. Both can become quickly deadly.
Never mind gonorrhea, syphilis, AIDS, or, probably irritable bowel syndrome because your ass is getting stretched out. We're worried about meningococcal. And this is a Florida thing. This is kind of like the bird flu. It doesn't affect all the chickens, just the ones in Florida.
Right. And that's the, again, a question I have. Does this not affect everybody nationwide?
Right.
It's just strictly Florida.
If I'm an international bisexual exchange student, I should only avoid Florida.
I guess.
Okay.
According to the CDC.
Or get, it's as simple as a needle. If you want to shove it up your ass and be disease-free, just get this fucking needle in Florida. It's like the Dr. Kevorkian of gays.
College students, immunocompromised people living with HIV, and men who have sex with men. Every other sentence they say men who have sex with men should all get vaccinated against meningococcal disease with a ACWY vaccine, according to the CDC.
We need to get the public service commercial for this. If you're immunocompromised, or you have a low immune system, or you're a man that has sex with men.
This story is obsessed with men who have sex with other men. Every other sentence specifies men who have sex with men. Why don't they just say
NBC? Okay, this is supposed to be one of your flagships.
Right. Why can't they just say homosexual men? They have to specify, they have to make it like, this headline grabbing clickbait thing, men who have sex with men.
You're right.
Just say homosexual men. We get the point.
I agree. So so if you already have AIDS, you're recommended to have this as well.
Right. People in those groups who have not been vaccinated in 5 years should also get another shot.
So this is not new.
This is not new.
This is
right.
This is like the flu shot in Florida.
Right. They say cases have also.
If you are a man having sex with men and you have not had your booster shot, do not have sex with men.
Go to CVS and get your meningococcal shot.
Do they have nasal swabs for this in case you're positive? Or
they very well might.
Or anal
cases have also been discovered in people who have traveled to Florida, and the CDC recommends that men who have sex with men, again, every fucking paragraph, men who have sex with men who are planning to travel there also get vaccinated.
You know how you're driving down the interstate and they have those signs, and they're ones that they can program, warning wet roads or construction ahead or take a break if you're drowsy. Attention, men having sex with men entering the state.
They are obsessed with
outbreak.
That. Jesus. Again, all you have to say is homosexual men. We get the point.
Right. So I mean, you drive across the Florida border, you get your free, freshly squeezed orange juice at the Welcome Center, and one of the things they do is hand you a pamphlet and say, "Excuse me, if you're a man having sex with men."
It's exactly what they do.
Right? Just like when you go on the fucking roller coaster, if you suffer from vertigo or heart problems or whatever, if you are men having sex with men.
That's the first thing you see at the visitor center on fucking I-95.
Right. You're welcomed by the sexual Seminoles. They're all there. Men having sex with men. Do you have to pass a checkpoint, like going from Paris to Berlin or something?
Do you need to fill out a form?
Does the enhanced driver's license cover that?
That's a very good question. I'm curious. I was not asked that on my application, but I'm curious if that's a Florida requisition.
Perhaps they saw your wedding ring and they didn't question it.
Well, maybe. They say symptoms begin as fever, headache, stiff neck, nausea, vomiting, light sensitivity, confusion, and rash.
So the symptoms of COVID and bath salt overdose.
Yeah, the symptoms of every single thing ever known to man are the symptoms of whatever this is, meningococcal thing.
Hey, I don't mean to get off subject, but I was reading this one article today, and it might have been NBC or CBS, I don't know. But it was like, how to tell if you have COVID allergies, or the common cold. It's all the same fucking symptoms.
It's all the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anyway, this was a special public announcement for men having sex with men. Not robots, not dining naked in Tokyo, just men that choose to have sex.
And let me state, I read that story exactly as it is written on NBCnews.com. They are obsessed with men having sex with other men.
Again, you would think that NBC would have a little couth.
No.
Not Cave Crew Radio. Cave Crew Radio will poke a hole in anything we can possibly find.
Right.
We will find evil inside the goodness of the well, but not NBC.
NBC couldn't wait. That it literally in every single paragraph I read, they stated men having sex with other men.
I
really needed you to know that this is what it is.
I could see Katie Couric on like Dateline or whatever the NBC nightly news is, reading this story. Again, men having sex with men in Florida. If you're a man, bisexual or gay, having sex with men, we encourage you to get your 5-year booster.
Right.
I told you that story would be better than you thought it was.
I said there was nothing really to the story. It was just, scientific fact. But yeah. The final Florida story comes from the Palm Beach Post.
Oh, very wealthy area.
Headline reads, "The skinny on dealing with a nude jogger in your neighborhood." People who live in a West Palm Beach community have been creeped out lately by the shadowy appearance of a nude jogger. The jogger, whose workout regimen has been recorded on home security surveillance cameras in the area, likes to run between the morning hours of 6 and 7 a.m. "I like to walk my dog at 6 o'clock or 6:30 in the morning, and that's when he is appearing," said Lois Smith. "So I have no idea what I should do, what I would do if I came across him."
It sounds like he's a scepter or a ghost, though, the shadowy appearance.
He's like this mythical fucking unicorn naked creature.
I don't think anyone's encountered him.
He's the streak.
So now we get into the meat of how to deal with a nude jogger. First of all, and this coming from whoever wrote this article, they're going to tell you how to deal with a nude jogger. First of all, don't panic. Runners are generally gentle souls, addicted to endorphins and the quixotic quest for self-improvement, punctuated by the sidelining bouts of plantar fasciitis and knee pain. A runner in motion isn't about to hurt anybody but himself, except for those that they pull into the woods and murder and rape and kill.
Remember, Choo Choo Stew is an avid jogger.
Now, that if a runner was holding, say, a flat screen TV and is being pursued by a police canine, that would be a different matter. I think you can tell the difference between a naked jogger and a guy stealing a
Cuban fucking immigrant running with a big screen TV.
Jesus Christ. But this appears to be the case of running for running's sake. And that's a good news for others. Because when runners are in the middle of their ritual, the last thing they want to do is slow down or stop running for any reason, including to commit a crime, except for those that pull those into the woods and rape and kill people.
Correct.
On the other hand, fully dressed walkers, particularly elderly ones, are more problematic. Now, what do you have a problem with the elderly people? They're much more likely to stop you whether you're in the mood to talk or not, to begin an extended monologue on the humidity, the bald patches on your lawn, or the teenagers down the block.
There you go. This is very
Why
scientific.
does this sound like fucking an episode of fucking Leave It to Beaver?
Or Blackish.
Next, runners just want to keep going. Even if you try to stop or slow down a runner for any reason, they will continue to run in place as if they were on an invisible treadmill, unwilling to interrupt their workout. Runners are also too breathless to be proper criminals. So now you're saying all runners are out of shape. When they run, they can't breathe. That's just not correct.
Run to stay in shape.
Right. If you're running, you have more than enough breath. You know, these are the people that run fucking marathons.
Yeah. Especially if they're naked. Maybe they're just trying to beat their best time or something.
They're trying to cut down on wind resistance.
Maybe.
Most would have the lung power in the unlikely event that they would be announcing their intention to rob you. Most wouldn't have the lung power, I should say. And I don't know any runner that says, "Pardon me, sir, I'm going to rob you now."
I thought you were going to ask for some Grey Poupon.
Whatever happened to the Grey Poupon rapist?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Remember him?
The Grey Poupon rapist.
Yes.
And if you think a runner may be trying to rob you, it's easy to thwart them. Just pretend that you can't understand what he's saying and ask him politely to repeat himself. That's exactly what you're going to do when somebody wants to rob, rape, and kill you.
I'm sorry. Excuse me.
What did you say? What did you say? Yeah, do that as he's stabbing you in the neck and fucking you in the ass repeatedly.
Right. And please don't fuck me in the ass. I haven't had my 5-year checkup.
What did you say? I'm sorry, I missed that. What? I'm sorry. You can say in a very accommodating sort of voice. But I didn't understand what you were saying between all that panting. What? What? Are you going to fuck me in the ass? What? Could you please repeat yourself, this time without gasping for air? And the killer says, yes. Get on the fucking ground. I'm going to stab you in the neck and fuck your dead corpse. After 2 or 3 times, they will give up and continue to run past you. No, they won't. Which brings up my second point. Nude runners are not going to shoot you. At no point in this article. At no point in this article did anybody say anything about shooting. The idiot writer just assumes that you're worried about a nude runner shooting you.
If he's completely nude, where is the knife? Where is the gun?
Well, they can put things in certain places as they do in prison to get away with.
Right.
That's how shanks are moved around in prison.
Correct.
That's because nude people rarely carry a firearm. Okay, it says rarely. Give me the circumstances that nude people are running around carrying a firearm. No pockets. And in the extremely unlikely event that they have a concealed weapon, again, they have a concealed weapon. There's only one place that it can go. Well, 2 if it's a woman. But if it's a man, it's only one place. It's going to take them some time to fish it out. All right, now picture this. Pardon me, sir. I'm going to rape and murder you. Let me fish out the knife in my ass. Hold 1 second while I fish my weapon out.
I think
my only question is, how did this pass an editor?
I think what they say is,
I have no idea.
The guy's got the gun up his ass and he waits for you to say, pardon me. And that's allowing him the time to get the gun out of his ass.
So let's think about this for a second. We all know what a gun looks like, right?
They get runners
straight and a down thing, right? So it's, it's like this, right?
Yeah.
That's what a gun looks like.
Yeah.
Correct? We all agree on
yes.
that. Whereas a knife would be like this, right?
And
it's
very
straight.
Sharp, by the way.
Sharp, yes, but straight.
Yeah.
How does this fit in your ass?
Well, I'm sure.
And you can still run like you're a fucking jogger on, preparing for the fucking New York City Marathon.
How would you not shoot yourself?
How would you not shit yourself?
Exactly. Have you ever taken a suppository?
Here, let me shoot my gun out. Here, hold on. Let me take the safety off, and then I can shoot you.
You instantly need to shit.
Wait, hold on. Let me fish out my fucking Glock. Pull it. Oh wait, there's corns and nuts here. Let me just fucking move that off, and then I'm going to shoot you in a shit-covered bullet.
And why would the person who wanted to stop them, why wouldn't they realize, oh, he's fishing a gun out, I should run?
Right. Why would you wait? Oh, what are you doing? Let me see. I'll wait. You just told me you were going to murder me, but I'll wait.
Until you pull the ass on your
if they know exactly what time he's running, why aren't there cops in the park or wherever this is waiting for him?
Because it's Florida.
I guess they have other things to do.
The other
like
thing
play
to keep
Pokemon.
The other thing to keep in mind with nude running is it's an activity practiced by a small subset of humanity. Kind of like people who prefer pineapple on pizza, Christmas Hallmark movies, or libertarian presidential candidates.
There's a group to be a part of.
It's not normal, but it happens. And at least it's not nude volleyball, which has far too many swaying appendages in one place. I hate the person that wrote this story.
Yes, I agree with you.
I'm so confused. Like, one, it passed an editor who should be probably put on a desk somewhere else. And if you're leaving your house, do you travel to the park naked, or do you get undressed while you're at the park to go running naked?
There are so many questions.
Like you are pondering doing this. Is what I'm surmising. Anyway,
sure,
listen.
Yeah. And I got to figure out how to put a weapon up my butt.
I am currently experiencing irritable bladder syndrome. So we have reached the point of the show where we have to name the show. Plus, I must wake my wife for her medication after her dental surgery. So that's coming up very shortly. I have a few. Most will probably be show notes. Two from that last story. Nude runners are not going to shoot you.
Definitely a show note. Not too long for a show note.
But this one also caught me. Nude people rarely carry a firearm. Very good statements to both.
Right.
However, I wrote down maybe some of the obvious, but a few others. Men that have sex with men, since it was repeated so much, it's kind of the other shoe.
Okay.
Also wrote down, he forgot to ignore it. But my favorite one is vomit breath. Scotty, before we go to Big B.
Yeah, I didn't write anything down.
I didn't think so. You were having a hard time staying awake. Big B only has 4, I think, this week.
I'm gonna go 5.
You were wrong. DK is correct. I have 4.
I think you wrote a lot down this week.
I was going back and forth until I heard what I heard. So first thing I'm going to go with is IBS is the new lab rat.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, I have goldfish mouth.
Okay.
Next up after that, I have the Lego of sex. And then going back to earlier in the show, and I like this because DK agrees, I'm just a little more expanded on it. Sucking on vomit breath.
Yeah, that'll work.
That'll work.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. As always, a theme to every week. And I don't plan it that way when I submit the stories. I just look and see what's available, and somehow it all makes do.
I organize them in such a way
and
where
the conversations just seem to flow. All right, kids, I want to wish everyone a happy Easter, but I must hop off. No pun intended. Scotty, good luck with whatever you're doing on your visitation Easter dinner. Big B, have a fantastic Easter, and I will see you guys next week.
Later.
More laughs, more hot topics, more weird news.
Check it out.
More surprises than ever. It's Cave Crew Double 2. Only on CaveCrewRadio.com.
I want you to pack up and get out.
Get the hell out of here!
Go! Just go! Get out! Get the hell out!
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Oh, Don, you're a little controversial. You're talking about illegal immigration. I said it's illegal.